The pygmy seahorse is a half-inch long and is the star attraction of Lembeh Strait. And he is a commensal because he lives on this Gorgonian sea fan. The sea fan gets nothing out of the deal, but the tiny hippocampus gets the asset of perfect camouflage and a place from which to hunt and to hide from predators. This little creature draws more divers to Lembeh Strait than any other. This blue anemone is supporting 5 different species: Banggai cardinal, Clark's anemone fish, anemone shrimp, blue-spotted damsels, and some sexy shrimp on the edge. The sexy shrimp do a little bump and grind, which gives them their name. And they're always found near or in the stinging tentacles of an anemone. Here are 3 anemone shrimp that nicely agree to line up in a row. They're very fastidious, like many crustaceans, keeping themselves clean. They live among the stinging tentacles of the anemone, and sometimes they'll venture out and dance next to the anemone, which is their way of flashing a sign that tells fish to stop in for a cleaning so that the shrimp can feed on the fish's parasites. You might be tempted to call this creature a narcissus, but there's a good reason for its vanity. The hairy squat lobster endlessly cleans hundreds of hairs called setae that cover its body. The setae collect bits of food as the lobster moves around on the host sponge. The barrel sponge provides food, shelter, and a place to hide, and in return the squat lobster keeps the sponge swept clean. For the sponge, it's like having a live-in. Here we have a porcelain crab perched on a piece of soft coral, and he's feeding. Those things you see are modified mouth parts, and he uses them like fishing nets to strain plankton out of the water. He eats zooplankton, which are tiny animals, and phytoplankton, which are tiny floating plants. A balanced diet. His mother would be proud. Crinoid shrimp have the ability to absolutely disappear into their host crinoid. Crinoids are very unpalatable, and so it's a good place for a crinoid shrimp to hide and flourish, because there are no fish that will come in to try and eat the crinoid. This one's keeping its claws clean. This particular crinoid shrimp is the best match to a crinoid I've ever seen. Without a dive guide, I never would have been able to find it. If that stops moving, it disappears. Here we have another one. It's missing its right claw. It was probably bitten off by a fish. But if you look closely, you can see that it's beginning to regenerate. These are tiny inch-long blennies, and they're living in association with this green tube coral. The coral provides food and a place to hang out. In return, the blennies use their serrated teeth to scrape algae off the coral, preventing it from becoming overgrown, like any good gardener would. 2 emperor shrimp riding on a sea cucumber. They use the sea cucumber as a moving platform so they can scour the bottom for tiny organisms. They've also been observed eating nudibranch fecal pellets. Oh no, you take the last one. I'm trying to cut down on my fecal intake. They're very polite. This is an eggshell shrimp found under a plate coral. I would have called it a starry shrimp because it reminds me of a tiny moving galaxy of red stars. This is an obscure spotted sawblade shrimp called Toseuma, which is doing its darndest to match this plant that it's living on. My lights are beginning to flicker and die, so I'll back out here and you can see just how good its camouflage is. There go the lights. Voila, pretty good match.